in color, the continuing story of Peyton Place. Starring Dorothy Malone as Constance Mackenzie, Ed Nelson as Michael Rossi, Ryan O'Neill as Rodney Harrington, Barbara Parkins as Betty Anderson, Tim O'Connor as Elliot Carson, Christopher Connolly as Norman Harrington, Patricia Morrow as Rita Harrington, James Douglas as Stephen Cord.
Rita Jax Harrington, Norman Harrington's young wife, is undergoing heart surgery. Dr. Michael Rossi, Rita's doctor, is assisting. A specialist in cardiac disease, Dr. Louis Remick, has been summoned from Boston and is supervising. The purpose of the operation is to clear scar tissue from one of the principal passages in Rita's heart, and thus permit normal circulation. The passage can be cleared in only one way: direct surgery. There is the possibility, of course, of failure.
Miss Chilton, is everything...
Norman, why don't you wait in Dr. Rossi's office?
Have they started yet?
Not quite.
Calling Dr. Fielding. Calling Dr. Fielding.
What time is it?
It's about a minute past the last time you asked me.
That's a bad time.
Hey, Norm.
You know what? That doctor, the one from Boston, the big fellow with the sad eyes and small hands, you know what I wanted to say to him? I wanted to say, hey, big man, what was your batting average last season? How about this season?
Listen, I have a big idea. I think that you and I should go outside in the nice, cool snow and take a walk, huh? A long walk.
You know, Dr. Rossi told me all about the heart. He said that Rita's heart doesn't stop during the removal of the scar tissue. He didn't say anything about after the operation, just during it. Now, the question is... Oh, I thought you might be a nurse or a social worker coming to tell me something about Rita. Why didn't you knock or just slip a note on the door?
Norman, I'm sorry.
All right, Betty, it's all right. It's over.
I'll bet Stephen looks worse than both of you. Why don't you two go somewhere? This place is too depressing. You need bright lights.
Stop it, will you?
I can't.
Norman, Rita's going to be all right.
Oh, I know that. It's just a simple operation. A simple clearing of the mitral valve. Dr. Rossi told me all about it. He said the trouble with Rita's heart is that the blood can't flow from the left auricle to the left ventricle because the mitral valve is blocked by scar tissue. And you know what else the doctor told me about the heart? He said a rabbit's heart beats 200 times a minute. A mouse is about 500 times. Do you want to hear any more about the heart?
No.
Rod, how much longer?
You know that doctor? What's his name? Well, he gets a little ring, and he puts it on his index finger to the first digit. And connected to that little ring is a tiny light razor. And he just reaches in and clears the valve with that silly little knife.
Norm, you've got to stop thinking about this.
Hey, Rod, when Rita wakes up, what if she doesn't open up her eyes because she doesn't want to see me? And what if she doesn't move her hands because she doesn't want to touch me? You know, she could want to do that because I'm the cause of her being here. You know that, don't you?
No, I don't know that. I don't know that. Now, will you knock it off?
She could have gone 100 years without this operation. Then I had to tell her father. I had to tell her father to get out of town, to stay out of our lives. We don't need his help. That's what set her off. That's why she almost died last night. And that's why she's lying in there on the operating table, trying to live. She's lying in there. That's why she's lying in there on the operating table right now, with her life and our babies, trying to decide if she wants to live. It's that simple.
Mary?
I saw that Mr. Easton you sent me to. I don't like him. Wow. Do you live here alone?
Miss Smith, what do you want this time?
Help.
Look, I thought I made myself clear. My practice is primarily...
I know you're not interested in this case, but I thought you were interested in Kelly. Will you watch her, please?
Now, look. Miss Smith, you don't have a case.
Did you know Allison Mackenzie?
What?
Allison Mackenzie. Did you know her?
Why?
Kelly is her baby.
This child...
Kelly is Allison Mackenzie's baby.
If that's true, what are you doing with her?
Pretending to be your mother. Well, that was all right until I started believing it, too.
Can you prove this?
Will you help me?
I asked if you could prove this. If this baby was born to Allison Mackenzie.
Well, first I have to know if you'll help me.
In what way?
If I tell the Carsons, can they take Kelly away from me?
Well, if you show evidence that this is their granddaughter, yes. Do you intend to?
I don't know.
Why did you tell me?
Well, you know the law. You can help me.
When'd you last see Allison?
I only saw her once.
When?
About 4 months ago.
Where?
A bus stop in Kansas.
Where was she going?
I don't know. To California, I think. We shared a table in a coffee shop.
And she just dropped her baby in the lap of a stranger and walked away, huh?
I told you we shared a table. She asked me to hold the baby for a minute while she made a phone call, and she never came back. You don't have to believe it, Mr. Cord. Thanks for telling me what I needed to know.
Now, wait a minute. Are you going to tell the Carsons?
Well, that depends.
Do you have any idea what this... Do you have any idea what the Carsons have gone through since Allison left?
I've talked to them.
But not about Allison.
Not about seeing her or about Kelly.
Why did you bring her here to Peyton Place?
To see if their home would be better for Kelly than anything I could give her.
Well, that should be obvious.
Allison ran away because she didn't think her parents would take the baby. Maybe she was right. Maybe they won't take her.
And that's the only thing stopping you?
That's the only thing that matters.
Well, then you haven't a thing to worry about. If this child is Allison Mackenzie's, she'll be accepted.
All right, but I don't think I can tell them. Will you?
If it's easier. Was Allison traveling with anyone?
No, she was alone.
Did she talk about anyone else? Anyone special?
Just her parents.
No man, no boyfriend?
You mean Kelly's father?
Didn't she talk about him? She must have said something.
No.
I find that hard to believe.
Why?
She must have said something about the father out of bitterness.
No, she didn't mention him.
Come on, Jill.
Why are you so concerned about the father?
Because it's important.
I don't know who the father is.
Well, that doesn't really give us much to go on, now, does it?
You tell the Carsons for me. I'll prove I'm not Kelly's mother.
All right, I'll drive you home.
Thanks.
Everything's fine. Dr. Remick is very satisfied.
See, she's fine, you big dope.
So you have nothing to worry about?
Thank God.
Dr. Rossi.
Ada, I'm happy to say everything is just fine.
I told you. I told her.
Can I see her, Dr. Rossi? Well, she's going into intensive care now, so there's no chance of having visitors for a while, anyway.
I thought you said everything was fine.
Well, it is. That's why we take patients that have had major surgery to make sure everything stays fine, that's all. Excuse me.
I knew that would happen. I put my head down for a few seconds and I fell asleep. How long have I been here?
I don't know. 10 or 15 minutes, I suppose.
We were fighting.
Mm-hmm.
What'll we do, Elliot? We're married. We've been happy. There doesn't seem to be any way to resolve this.
I think we can resolve it
How?
by looking at the situation realistically.
All right.
All right. This young girl comes into town. Now, she calls herself Jill Smith. She makes an ambiguous statement about meeting Allison. She doesn't really say she met Allison, but being clever about it, she lets you assume it.
Go on.
She's a twisted girl, a cruel girl.
Getting some strange kind of kick.
Maybe.
Like all those people who called us just after Allison disappeared.
Exactly.
Sick people. People who called us from everywhere, girls saying they were Allison.
Any policeman will tell you that sort of thing is quite common.
Then it's within the realm of possibility that in 1 month or 1 week or 1 year, somebody else could wander into town with some elaborate story about Allison.
I'm afraid so.
I see. Well, I think I'll turn in. I've had enough of the couch.
You don't really buy it, do you, Connie?
Look, we've had our fight. Let's call it a night.
And you still believe what that girl told you? You still believe that she met Allison?
I know she met Allison.